Let's see what we got. All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a good Sunday evening. And yeah, we're gonna do something a little less exciting than I know what we normally do on this show. We're gonna just do a little bit of building, and we're gonna kind of recap the day, talk about Extra Life a little bit, and then basically whatever you feel like talking about. All right, so that's the plan for the evening. I'm going to show you guys actually the very start of the build process, because we're going to start to build some of these minis for the Extra Life. So first thing we're going to do is, because the longest thing in the build, the longest part of the build is waiting for the stamping to dry. We're going to stamp the bases first. That's where I always start. So I stamp the bases first, and then while the bases are drying, I'll go ahead and build the model. So we got a bunch of, I mean, technically there are Staya minis. Some of them are Infinity minis, but we're just going to put stuff together, and could be a very quiet evening, could be a short evening. It's really up to kind of wherever our conversation and my stream of consciousness leads us to. All right, so we're going to start there. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get some epoxy light putty. So this is epoxy sculpt. You could buy this stuff in about £1. It's a 2-part epoxy sculpt, and this is where you kind of have to eyeball how much you need. There's not a, I don't follow any hard and fast rules here. I just sort of eyeball it and hope I get what I need, and I hope I don't, like, grossly undershoot or overshoot it. It looks like this may be we're probably going to be okay. I think this is going to work. We may have overshot it a little bit, but that's okay. So it's a 2-part. It's a 2-part epoxy sculpt. So we're just going to mash the gray bit with the gray bit. And you want to do this for about 30 seconds. Okay? I know this is exciting stuff, folks. Some of it will get on your fingers. It's okay. When you first start mixing it together, Chris, what's up, dude? Welcome to the feed. Yeah, when you first start mixing it together, it'll start to kind of fall apart a little bit. But like I said, you want to mix it for about 30 seconds. If you're really paying attention, you'll notice the epoxy gets just a little bit warm when you mix it together. Just a little bit. You may not even be able to feel it. I don't think most people even tell that that's what's going on, but yeah, it does get a little bit warm in your hands as you're mixing it. If you don't want this to happen in your hands, the easiest thing to do would be to coat your hands with a little bit of water. Just doing some light hobbying tonight. How was the Guild Ball event? It was very fun. It was a very fun event. Not as many people showed up to the event than the people that showed up last week for games. Last week was the original date of the event, and it got rained out. So we canceled the event. We moved it to today, but a lot of people that were planning on the original date showed up for that instead. Today was pretty much just all our most, like, a lot of competitive players showed up today. So it was a rough day for me, but not in the sense of like that I wasn't ever really out of any of the games, right? I actually was in position to win any of those games. It just came down to the finer stuff at the end of the game, and that was great. So it was a great day from let's get some really intensive Guild Ball games in. Great day for that. But overall super fun. We had a couple, Nelson and um, Nelson and Jason showed up for Aristea. So we had some people playing Aristea, and we had people playing Guild Ball. So it was fun. I'm looking pretty good on my fundraising. We smashed the original goal of 500, which is awesome. So now I'm gonna keep this campaign going until the end of the year, and I'm gonna move our goal over to 1,000 because I think we can hit 1,000. Shouldn't be a big deal to get to 1,000. I have so much left over here. I'm actually going to stamp. I'm gonna stamp an extra base or two because that would not hurt us one bit if we decided to do that. In fact, my son wants to paint a Cosmo, so I'll stamp a base for him so that we can do that. Let me see. I just need... But yeah, it was a very fun day. Very fun day. But very intense games of Guild Ball. Like if you ever wanted to see really high-level Guild Ball being played, today would have been the day for that. On the Aristea front, Jason finally lost a game to Nelson. So congrats to Nelson for finally toppling the dude that we can't seem to beat. Hey, what's up, Nelson? I was just congratulating you on your win over Jason and Aristea. So well played, sir. Let's see, and yeah, I'm just gonna stamp some extra bases that way. If we do get to it. In fact, I think so. Nelson, you gave me 5 bases for this last commission, but there's only 4 models. Unless I left a model in my car. I think you only gave me 4 models. But anyways. Yeah, you probably... Yeah, the Guild Ball would have been... That was a tough Guild Ball group. But yeah, super fun games. And, I left the day thinking, man, I want to play more Guild Ball. And I didn't get to play any Aristea, so I want to do that too. All right. He didn't play the Dream Team. But yeah, it was good stuff. Thanks everybody for your donations. Like I said, it's looking pretty good. I'm looking to push to 1K. So, if you want stuff painted or if you want to make a donation directly to my campaign, that will always be greatly appreciated. Man. So I'm coating my fingers here with a little bit of water. That always helps when the putty is a little on the sticky side, so we'll do that. Right, just coat it with a little bit of water and then just kind of ease this towards the edges of the base. This is one of the reasons why I don't like these bases as much as the Malifaux lipped bases. Is I don't like it when the putty runs over the side. But yeah. So that's what's going on. We found an AGL. CQ has an AGL kit. They have a Wild Bill kit that we can use for the upcoming Aristea event that we want to run in sometime in December. So be on the lookout for that. So man, yeah, Wild Bill at stake. And that's a fun sculpt. Luckily, Nelson already has one, so I was able to paint one of those. So that's fun. All right, but yeah, you and Jason have played Aristea all weekend long. That was awesome. I was mostly bummed that I could not free up long enough to play a game. But we'll try for it next weekend. Maybe maybe I can free up for a game. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can. It would probably be the most likely would be a Sunday afternoon game, but also possibly a Saturday afternoon game. So we'll see how we go there. So yeah. So yeah, overall fun day for games. And looking to get back into it. The painting is slowed down a little bit, but it's at a good spot actually. It's actually at a really good pace because of everything else that I'm working on right now. This is actually a really nice time to be a little bit slower on the production side, and it's letting me spend a little bit more time, painting these up the way I would like to paint them. So I feel like my latest commission stuff is turning out pretty good because I'm able to pace it a little bit better. If that makes sense. But yeah, looking forward to prime time. And we'll see who shows up for it. Prime time should be a really fun event. I would try to encourage people to try to pair up with somebody less experienced, right? Ideally, that's what we would want to do. If you could find a two-man, it's actually, if you play Aristea, maybe you just try to find a partner, right? If each one of us just went out and said, "Hey, come play in this event with me," you only have to control two pieces. Then maybe we get right. We almost effectively double the people playing Aristea. That should be cool. You don't want maybe we don't put you don't want to put like Nelson and Jason on the same team, right? You don't want to put Jason and Matt on the same team. Right? I'm going to see. Yeah, hopefully we can get some people together for that. Okay. So you can see how much easier the Malifaux ones are, right? Just to oh, that's the wrong stamp. That would have been a nightmare. We don't want that. I like this random metal plate. This has been working out quite well for all the Aristea stuff. And you just kind of put your water all over it. And let's start stamping. You want to put a lot of pressure on these bases. Right, make sure you get the pressure out everywhere. Right, you're going to end up with a little bit of stuff hanging over there. You can try to cut it off. Sometimes it'll just come right off, like that just came right off. Sometimes it's a little bit harder than that. That wasn't too bad because that one just came right off. It's only fair to put Chris on your team. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bribe someone to come spend the day on my team. Maybe I can get Nathan to play on my team. He doesn't play Aristea. But the AGL Season 4 rules, they don't have any specific rules for primetime yet. So I'm wondering when primetime comes out if they will have specific AGL rules. I haven't played in a while since whatever I was last hanging out at Gamecraft. I mean, that's not too long ago. So Jose also counts as a veteran. He's played enough Aristea. Yeah, I'll see how many people we can get. Lord of the Rings taking up my Saturday. Nice. Saturday at CQ was nuts. It was all Age of Sigmar stuff. There were a lot of Age of Sigmar players there. And the worst part about it was they arranged the tables in kind of an asshole-ish way to where you couldn't fit. They put them like lengthwise so that you couldn't fit any other tables, along the storefront, right? Because there's normally enough room for 4 or 5 setups in front of the store, and they only had 4. But it was because they were all at length to length like this, and so that was a little frustrating. Not that we wanted to play in the middle of that, because those guys they tend to be very loud. But at least the option would have been nice, right? So Nelson and Jason ended up just playing in the park there on that like metal table where they usually deal meth or whatever. Thinking. All right. Finish stamping this. Also, I don't know if you noticed this, Nelson, but there was a guy there wearing gold hammer pants. Did you notice that? One of the dudes at the Age of Sigmar thing was wearing gold hammer pants. I I had questions. I talked to Madison about it because we both had questions. What is this gold hammer pants thing? It's pretty funny. Okay. Oh, so see how this one's hanging over? I'm gonna have to. Ooh, you have to like carefully. This is why I don't like flat bases, because you have to very carefully kind of slice that off the edge, or it'll look weird. Ugh. Just. Luckily, this putty is really soft at this stage, so I can just do that. And then there's like, right, there's some, this one's a little more minor, so you could just do that, right? Okay. And then this one here. Well, you just want it to look a little more level, so that when you paint that base in, it looks nice, and that edge will look nice and clean. Doesn't always work. Sometimes the putty is too brittle and you don't get, and it hangs over a little too much. Like, one thing you could do, if you were really anal about it, you could let the whole thing dry and then sand it, like lightly sand it until you've gotten back to black plastic. That's another way you could do it. All right, let's start building some stuff. So Nelson bought a bunch of Infinity minis here. And we'll just start cracking these suckers open. And we'll start building while all of these, while all the putty is drying. And that's really all that's really our goal for tonight, is to just try to build all of these. Now, these old Infinity kits are a little terrifying. Look at how she's attached. Tiny little tiny little tippy toe like that. And then look at this. And this one, this is the one where she's running and she has her sword halfway in the sheath, which makes that. So there's two ways you can actually configure her. You can have her with her sword like this way, which is like a two-handed rifle hold with her sword halfway in the sheath, or you could have her with the full sword out on one side, and then she's just holding the sheath, the clean sheath, on the other side. So Nelson, let me know if you have a preference either way, right? Because we're going to start to clean up all the little flash on them, and then we'll pin. We have to at least pin the foot, but I'm probably, with this model, I'm probably going to have to pin more than that. Okay. So that's the head. I'm going to clip this off here. The choices are, you could either have like a two-handed rifle. So this arm here is holding the sheath to her sword. Okay. And so you have the option, like the cover art has her holding the sword. Let's see if I got this right. It's more like, yeah, she's holding the sword this way, and the sheath is, geez, I'm not doing this right, but she's holding the sword and the sheath like this. So she's holding the sword across her body, and she's got the sheath like that. Or you could just have her holding the sword out like this and holding the sheath that way, right? So sword fully out or sword in the sheath. Those are your choices. Just cleaning all these out. And I gotta take that off. dog was being annoying. No worries, dude. Right, I need a file. Why don't I ever just stick the file? Here we go. Sword fully out. Nice. Thank you for that. That's actually much easier. I built one of these the other way, and it's a lot harder because it sword in halfway coming out of the sheath. You got to have the position perfect on both arms, and you have to keep. And now you have basically two potential things that are bending. Like, see how the bottom of that sheath is bending? And if any of it's bent, it looks silly. So this is a lot easier. I do not think. I don't think I have to. Don't think I have to pin the head. Probably doesn't hurt though to do that. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 pins. 4 pins. Might as well. The older kits require a little more pinning than the newer kits, but the upside to that is they're not built as psychotically as the new kits are. If that might make sense to you, the folks who have built the new Corvus Belli metal kits. So the new Corvus Belli metal kits, they want to make it easier to assemble without pinning, and that's a great thing to want to do. But what they end up doing is cutting the model in so many weird pieces that it's the pieces are so weird that it's almost harder to put together. All right. So that teeny tiny pin there will be for the head. So I'll drop a teeny tiny little drill here for the head. So one other thing too is I like to build the models in what I think is the most intricate build first. So I like to do the most intricate builds first while my hands are not super fatigued. You know, from gluing and holding and slowly drilling holes into my thumb. And then, you know, the bigger, easier to assemble models I usually do last. I cannot get this pin to stay still. Or the pin vise. Looks like I got it. This little model is so fiddly. Okay. So I don't need to make a giant hole there. It's just enough for this little pin to sit in there. Also, I tend to put the pin on the ball side of the socket, or the ball side of the connection rather than the socket side. And pinning tiptoes sucks. Bad. It's really not fun. I might actually have to use... Oh no, I think I got it. I just don't want to drill through the foot. So I don't want to go too fast. It's still not. I don't know if I got that right. All I'm really looking to do is get a little, I just need a little tiny socket there so the pin can stay in one place. I don't know if I have it. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if that's gonna stay. I don't know. Her foot is barely as wide as the pin vise. And it's not like it's not like I have a choice. This is, that is the only way she is connected to the base. And it's rather horrifying. I'm going to use liquid instead of gel. The liquid will dry a little bit faster. All right. Okay. All right. And this is good old. So that channel is not fully supported on one side. So I'm trying to get this to seat properly. Ugh. And you can't really get it to seat properly without it sticking to your finger. Because despite the fact that there's super glue on that side and nothing on the finger side, it still wishes to attach itself to your finger. All right, so I'm just going to use the paper there, and you can see that sucks. That is what we call not fun to pin. And then I'm going to stick this in here. If it will fit. Yeah, it'll fit there. Okay. Whoa! Dropped a big old thing of super glue right there. Okay. So we'll do that. And now we've got to drill tiny little, we're going to drill tiny little holes there. What? Hold on. How does this go? Looks like on the art, yeah, that's still going across her body. And so the side holding the sheath still comes out the back here. You can see these nubs are, see how they're super irregular. So I remember when Corvus Belli stuff first came out, somebody on YouTube was saying you had to be a finger gymnast to put them together. And I don't disagree with that statement. I think there is definitely a level of truth to that. I'm just trying to make sure I don't drill all the way through the arm. All right. Let's see. Where'd all my pins go? Oh my gosh, those pins wanted to stick together. Why is that pin so long? It's all right. Oh, jeez. Ugh. Yeah, the problem is the pin, even though you've got a good socket there, the pin still wants to stick to my finger as opposed to the hole drilled specifically for it full of super glue. Because why not? Of course that makes sense, of course. Oh. No, look, see? There was no super glue on that side, but still would rather stick to your finger. Okay, we're gonna let that do that. We're gonna do that deal for a minute. And then, so this is running all the way across her body that way. So I need to drill a hole here. So I make myself a little flat spot. You do know that building this is, for me, it's way harder than the painting part. The painting part's the easy part. A lot of people feel the opposite. They feel like building is the easy part and painting is the hard part. All right, I don't know if I've got a good channel there yet, but I'm trying. All right, I think that's a pretty good channel. Let's put the pin in there. Ooh. That is now running everywhere. And now, where'd that pin go? Oh, it slid down the side of the arm. Ah. Yeah, it's, oh man. Okay. Like you think you have a good channel there, but you really, it just wants to roll around, and the minute you touch it with your finger, it's way more attached to your finger than it is the model. All right, so we got that. Now let's drill out the rest of the holes here so that these things with the pins can go straight into her body. The issue as I see it though, see how narrow her body actually is? My pins are a little long. So we'll see how that goes. So Nelson, you may use this as a gender swapped Musashi, which is pretty cool. So I'd be down for seeing what that's going to be like. This is a really great miniature. Just giving myself plenty of room there with this drill. I just want to make sure when I socket the arm in that the pin will go all the way in. Ooh, hitting something on that side. Ooh. All right. And then finally, I want to drill a tiny little hole here in the back of her head. I hear a little toddler coming down. Uh-oh. Go to sleep. Shh, go to sleep. It's nighttime. Why aren't you in bed? Go to sleep. This is the Shinobu Kitsune. I believe so. All right. Just want to make sure I've got enough room there to get the head on. Okay. So now we're gonna try to put this together, and I don't know how well this is gonna go. You can see that's a very long pin there. And so the way this is gonna go is this will fit in there, and it's still, shh, that's still too, no, the cat is allowed there, son. Alright, so I'm going to trim this pin down a little bit. This paint was a pain to, yeah. Alright, so I had to cut the pin down for it to fit, but it should be okay. Right, so now I can go like this, and she'll hold the sheath here kind of close to her body and towards the back. Okay, so that looks cool. Now let's do the now let's dry fit the sword arm, which she has the sword running across the front of her body like this. And oh, I lost. It's like that. It's like that. But it did not, as you can see, the pin doesn't even want to stay in that socket for the arm. Okay. Let me try to make a little more room for it. All right, try this again. Yeah, it's like, this is a cool sculpt, but it is really hard to put this together, right? When you start getting super glue all over your fingers the way I have right now, you start to feel like a rookie again, right? You remember when you first started building models, and by the time you were done building something, you'd have super glue covering all your fingers? Ugh. All right, but we're ready to go. This is definitely the most tedious thing to do. Oof. So it's like that. Ah! The whole arm came out. There you go. Let me see if that will not stick to my finger, but rather stick to the body. As it should. Because the super glue is on that side, not on the side with my finger. God, you could tell though. You could tell it wants to go where my finger goes. So I'm going to hold it with the other thumb like this. Again, finger gymnastics. And slide that in there. Right? There you go. Okay. Now I'm going to use, I need to use a little bit of quick set because this is not going to stay if I do not do this. You could tell that joint does not want to firm up. So let's just do that. So let's just barely tap it with a little bit of quick set. Okay, not so much that we don't want to wreck the detail. All right, so, whew. I think still that the sword's supposed to be going that way, but this looks kind of cool too. I don't know. Let's see. We can once it's in place like that, I can adjust it a little bit. All right. So now we're gonna just do the head. I mean, you gotta admit it's a fantastic skull. Actually looks quite good like that. Right, because now it looks very fun. Now all the energy of the model is kind of carried. Oh, see how the head just wants to roll around on that pivot there. There you go. Now you got a little bit more energy towards the front of the model, but I'm not sure why. I can't get that to just stay. Okay, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, let's put her there. And shh, let's see who's next here. So next up, Guija Pilot. I know this one, again, because these are so delicate, they're so dainty, these are very hard to build. All right. Yeah. So there's only 3 pieces external to her, and they may be too small to pin. So let's have a look. Shh, son, go to bed. All right, so it's basically 2 sword arms, a sword arm, a sheath arm, and then there's just an additional sword. That's right. I don't know what this is. I think that's just flash. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, it looks like her sockets are so small that really all I can do is pin the foot. So we'll just do that. We'll pin the foot and hope that our hopefully that okay. Okay, so it's like that. And then this is the hard part because she kind of has heels. A little bit tougher to... It's just like the other one. Their feet are so tiny. You really do... You can't do this with like a standard like GW pin kit or even an army painter pin kit. They don't have the pins small enough to do this level of work. And if you don't do it, you're just gonna cry real tears trying to put this together. Alright. Let's cut ourselves a little pin here. What do I do with that? Okay. Nice little, just a tiny little pin there for the foot. Alright. So she has, there are two arms, and then she has another sword running, just kind of running off of her hip. Finny stuff. Yes. Combat heels, which are great, but they're so small. They're very difficult to pin. So you gotta go super, super slow. I'm not even doing this on camera because it's just too delicate. Man. Okay. These will make some great alternate Aristea models, though. I'm not sure which model you want this to be the alt for. Maybe could be a alt Shona Carano. Could be an alt Hippolyta. Although I do think Hippolyta, if it is going to be an alt Hippolyta, it should have a shield. Could also be another. It could also be another alt Musashi. Let's see. What did I do with? Now I've got all these like metal filings here, and I'm like, what did I do with the pin that I just cut? Where'd it go? Do we have to watch the replay? Where'd it go? I think I may just cut. Let's just cut another one. I can't seem to find anything. Go to bed, kiddo. Good night. All right. That should work. You don't need very long pins. You don't need long pins. You just need... You'd be surprised just how much actual strength you get with these tiny little pins. Alright. Okay. That's perfect. Right? See how that sits? I don't know what that'd be. Probably limited Joan of Arc as a Shona. Oh, that's a good choice for a Shona. All right. Okay, and let's let that pin dry. Let's clean this up. Okay, and then this one here. This one, I don't know if this sheath is going to stay on, because there's no way to pin that. The arms at least have sockets. This thing just gets free glued to the model across its back. It's got a teeny tiny little nub. Maybe that will be enough to keep it in place. We'll see. These are still a little bit easier to put together than Night Model's metal kits. Night Model's first edition metal kits were absolutely atrocious to put together. I just remember that they, on League of Shadows Ninjas, whose heads were just round things. They were just round heads with little slits in them. They made all the heads separate, and all those little nubs where it's supposed to attach were terrible. Okay. Alright, so a little glue there. We're going to see if hopefully this will have enough strength to keep this sword where it needs to be. Oh man. There's a teeny tiny little like the tiniest little bit of flash that's preventing me from getting a flush fit here. And that's deeply annoying. Let's see what we can get. Yeah. Just very difficult to get a flush fit. I should be able to get it though. Hold on. Let's just put a little bit of kicker, right? Just to firm up that. Okay. Now this part, this arm here goes up and under the hair and then attaches underneath the hair. Because that's fun. There's a reason why I never film this stuff. This is the worst part of the process for me. Absolutely hate it. Alright. So here we go. So I'm going to glue there. Okay. And it's just got a little square peg here. There we go. Trying to get that to fit exactly the way it's supposed to fit. Looks like we're good. Just do a little, just dab a little bit of the, okay, and then See this tiny little nub in the back there? And that's where the sheath goes down, or the second sword. It literally just sits there like that, which is terrifying, right? Because that could just fall off. Right? A microaggression can get that one to pop off. And there's no great way of cutting that little bit of flash. So anyways, all right, 2 down. I'm hoping it gets easier after this. Who's next? I think she'll be next. This is a great idea Nelson had for that being an alt, like an alt eclipse. And you notice I haven't attached any of them to the bases yet because we're trying to give the bases enough time to firm up so that they'll be just firm enough to not completely rip apart when I start drilling holes in it. But still soft enough to help support a drying metal model on its tippy toes. Problem. Great. Anyone want to guess what's missing? Nope. Never mind. Never mind. We're okay. We're okay. We're okay. There it was. All right. Why is the pony? That's just mean. The ponytail is a separate thing. This is an entire sprue of flash. All right. Well, that's kind of nice. The one thing that's nice here, with the ponytail being totally separate, we can bend it the way we want, right? So I was saying, you know, what if we had it to where it is sort of curling around to the front of the model? So it's like the whip, right? That was Nelson's idea. Was let's make that the whip, which is awesome. I don't know what else I can. I mean, there's square pegs here, so we could probably don't need to pin everything like that Kitsune model. Right. So, but first things first, no matter what, we still have to drop a pin into the heels. So, recurring theme. Love these models, hate building them. All right, so what did I just do with that? No, seriously. What did I just do? Here we go. That would have really sucked. They just sent us just the arms and the ponytail. All right, and let's cut a little pin here for the foot. Okay. Yeah, nice quiet evening, which is good. In for another busy week at work. Super happy that I actually do not have to do the jury duty. That's what I'm mainly happy about. I did a week of that, calling in and being upset, right? All right. Rare that a mispack is, but that's what those codes are for. They're really quick and efficient. Oh, nice. Nice. That's what this is for. Is that so that they can yell at Guillermo in the packing area? They take his Corvus Belly Speedo away? Yes. In my mind, Corvus Belly is just a bunch of guys that walk around in their Speedos talking about beautiful models. Beautiful models. Beautiful. All right. So we go like that. He's a beautiful model. What? Why you don't like beautiful Barbie? All right, so that goes like that. I'm actually gonna pin or try to pin this ponytail because it's pretty important. So, and I think I can actually get a pin into the ponytail. Pretty damn cool ponytail, might I add. Like, this model has a fantastic design. Like, I really love this model. Do I like putting it together though? No. All right, so so what's nice is, like I said, you could pose this hair the way you want to pose it. So we're gonna flatten. We're gonna make a big flat spot there, right? And then we're gonna put, still waiting on this beautiful Defiance model. Yes, beautiful. Defiance beautiful. Why mad? Why are you mad, sweet Barbie? Hey, American Beauty. they're in the nightclub. The Corvus Belly guys are in the nightclub in Las Vegas. Just hot summer nightclub, and they're wearing black leather jackets with Speedos underneath. What, American Beauty? Hey, come here, beautiful American girl. Oh, man. You are like Barbie, Miss America. Can you tell that I kind of want to LARP being one of these Corvus Belly guys? Like, or at the very least, I want to hang out with them. You know, if they ever go to LVO, I want to hang out with some of these Spanish dudes, and you know, take them to a Vegas nightclub. Which Vegas nightclubs are terrible. They're awful, horrible places. But when my wife and I, we used to go, like I said, when we were much younger and we were club rats. We would go to these places, and there would be European dudes in there. Like I said, it would be like a hot summer night at a nightclub in Las Vegas, and they would be wearing these big, heavy leather coats, like these heavy leather jackets. And we'd be like, what is the matter with these guys? Um, and now this I would not ascribe to anybody I like, so not to like Corvus Belli or anything like that. But whenever I ran into those dudes, in the restroom or whatever at the club, they would be up to some like really suspect shit, right? I'm talking about potentially like roofing people. So I don't want to be part of that scene, if you know what I mean. But I still like the pickup lines. Um, I remember a friend of mine. She she's not really a friend of mine, but I'll tell you this story. Apparently, Carlos is pretty chill, and he does hang with the Infinity community. Yeah, I don't think Carlos isn't like some skeevy dude though. You know what I mean? I'm sure he to me he strikes me as like a genuinely cool person. Uh, but I have met some. Well, okay, I'll just tell you this story. All right, and uh, so so anyways, when I was in my single days, like I said, and I was a club rat, and I did that whole thing. Um, I had a female wingman. Okay, so she's a great friend of mine. We dated very briefly, and we just determined that we would be better off, right? Just kind of supporting each other's efforts. We're way better friends. We don't, we're not compatible in that other way, but we like to go out together. So we would still go have dinner, and we would go out and hit the club afterwards, right? And it was kind of nice, right? Because and I've explained this many times on my feed before. If you go into a club with a woman, it's who you're not dating. It makes you seem safer and more approachable to women. So it worked out quite well for me. But anyways, um, she had friends, and she would invite her friends to come meet us. And one of her friends uh, was she was, what's the word I'm looking for? Slutty. How about that? Yeah. And I don't mean to slut shame, but just hear the rest of the story before you get mad at me. Um, so her friend, her name was Nicole. I can name her because there's no way she would ever watch a dude painting miniatures. But Nicole used to like to come in. She came into the dance clubs, and the first night I met her, she um, she came on to me, and her and my friend was like not okay with that because it didn't make me special. She liked men a lot. We'll just put it that way. So she would come into the club, and she'd wear this like big like flowy skirt that would spin around. And one of her favorite things to do was to come into the club and spin around in her skirt, um, and we'll just say sans underwear. Okay, so that was kind of her signature move, this girl, and it attracted a lot of unwanted attention, like a lot of unwanted attention, and skeevy guys would roll up like it was their job, right? Because that's the kind of attention you're gonna get. Um, and I'm not justifying the skeevy guys. Don't get me wrong. But one night in particular, she came in. She did that thing. She did her little dance thing, and there was this Brazilian guy that followed her the entire night, and to the point where we were a little worried about her safety. This Brazilian guy was actually trying to roofie her, and it was very obvious. Like he was like, you know, he kept running back and trying to get her drinks and stuff, and it just wasn't a cool thing. But the way this guy talked, it was like what the accent I was saying, like, oh, come on, beautiful American baby, like that kind of thing, which I think is hilarious. I don't know. I that that whole style of language and you know, just that way of talking for some reason is just the funniest thing to me. Come on, beautiful American baby. Now the Corvus Belly guys probably a lot more chill than that. Not creeper dudes, but they still, you know, that accent's great. Come here, Barbie. That's a really interesting looking gun. I don't know if that looks like Flash. That does look like Flash. Let's let that dry, then I'll clip the top of it. Hey, what's up, Sean? Sean, we're talking about thirsty European dudes. Thirsty Euros with fantastic accents and wonderful turn of phrases. Oh man, I'm so hung out from last night. All right. So we'll go like that. Don't clip the top of the gun. Oh, I did. I did. Was that bad? Was I supposed to? Let me look at the art. Did they screw up? Hold on. Did I screw up? A little bit. I did. I screwed up. I screwed up a little bit. Sorry, Nelson. She's a few rounds shorter. It just looked like, sorry, it just looked like Flash. It just looked wrong. But I mean, it's still, now it looks more like a gun. That's just weird how that was cut at the top. All right, I will take responsibility for that. I'm sorry, Nelson. I took a little bit off the top of the pistol there that was actually supposed to be the mag. It is a ranged medium gun. All right. I just made it easier for her to conceal the gun. Yeah. I am sorry, Nelson. Sorry about that. All right. It just looked weird. It looked like Flash. I like, okay. So, chances are, now that I'm thinking about it, chances are part of that was Flash, but part of it was the mag. And I clipped past the Flash and clipped the mag part off. Not entirely off, but a lot, a fair amount of the mag is gone. All right, so now I kind of want, this is going kind of out and straight with the miniature, and I think that's kind of lame. I would rather, ooh, yeah, nothing wants to stay. I would rather this come out. Either I could do a double bend, which would be kind of cool. Oh, that was her medical kit. I could either do a double bend, which is kind of cool, right? So it's got like more of like a sinusoidal type configuration to it. Which makes it actually a little bit stronger, right? So I could do like that. I don't think I want to, but I definitely don't want it going straight down the way the art is. It looks dumb. I want it to have a little bit of energy, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna bend it out like that, and then I'm going to bend this forward so that it's sort of wrapping around the front of the model. So you get a little bit more energy there, but I don't want it to wrap around the gun arm, if that makes sense, right? So it's going to be like that. Actually, let's bend it that way. There we go. So now I can go like that, and now it's like more like a whip, like she's whipping it out in front of you. That sounds rather dirty. But yeah. We got a 4-year-old that does not want to sleep tonight. Kid's gonna be fun to get up at 7 in the morning to take to school. Okay. So we'll go like that. These old Infinity kits. All right. And so we go like that. And this is gonna go like that. Oof. Actually, doesn't feel like I have. It doesn't feel like I've drilled that deep enough. It feels like it's still. That should have locked in there. All right, hold on. Let's drill that hole a little bit deeper. You know, you're terrible. I broke my promise. You're gonna play Warcry. Sounds like I have raptors in the background. Yeah. Yeah, that little kid. He gets, well, you know, like all little kids, when they get tired, they get even crankier, and they will even throw a tantrum while tired. Like, that's amazing to me, that you can be so tired as a little kid that you will throw a tantrum. Dang. Warcry, huh? Sean, let me know if you usually have Mondays off, right? Yeah, let me know if you have a lunch game in you tomorrow, because I'd be down for a lunch game. Okay. This joint here sucks. That is a terrible joint. Oh my gosh. It's just sliding around there. Oh my gosh. Oh, that sucks. No regrets, dude. All right. Ooh. I got a little bit of that Instaset on my finger, and it's burning my finger. All right. Remember when you didn't know how to put together models? Well, old school Infinity kit will make you feel that way. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that bond for a little bit, and then we're going to just do a little bit of an adjustment to it, right? So that, ooh, so it's more like that. So it's more three-dimensional. And let's rebond that. Okay, and that should stay. Okay, cool. So now we've got a little bit more energy in that model, which is nice, a little more 3D. Okay, and then there's one more old school Infinity model to build, and that is this one here, the Guija Pilot, which I don't think you had a specific use for, but who cares? It's a cool model. And all right. Uh-oh, is that a double-handed? Rifle hold. I hate double-handed rifle holds. Oh, the hardest part again, combat heals. All right. Okay. Let me see here. All right. Let me see if I can get a little tiny pin in there. And then this one shouldn't be too bad. I do notice that the metal that she's made of is a little bit harder than the other girls, but should be okay. Ooh, and I am not going to bother to build, well, no, there is one more model I'll build tonight, and that is my son's plastic, we'll do my son's Cosmo, since I know he wants to paint that soon. Ooh, cannot really get a good grip there. Do not roll off. It's gonna roll off. Do not roll off. Right, so for those of you paying attention, when we pick our stay date for December, we're gonna try to make it a primetime event. So you need to go out and find yourself an inexperienced or rookie player to team up with so that we can hopefully make it more of a casual, like introductory type event. Okay? All right. What did I do with... What did I do with the... Oh, well, I can use that, I guess. The bummer is Deshaun doesn't have many weekends off. That's going to be an issue. And also, we're all a little worried that we may be going into lockdown again. Which is really going to piss me off. I'm not going to lie. That is really going to piss me off. And I get it. We want to be safe and all this other stuff, but doesn't mean that I can't be frustrated and mad about the situation. Are you kidding me? Pin. Stay. Just stay there. There you go. Just stay there. Alright, they keep stealing your social life. Alright, now let's get... Alright, I will try not to clip any magazines or anything from her gun. Oh wow, literally is just... Her hand is totally free. So that is just wild. Wow, that is wild. It just, okay. We dropped something. I don't like the sound of that. Oh, that's what I dropped. Okay, good. All right. This looks easy to put together. All right. There's a lot of left-handed infinity models. Have you noticed that? They're not all right-handed. Like, that's kind of a cool little detail for infinity models. They're not all just right-handed things. Because that's her. This is her right hand, and it's the free hand. This looks like got a little nub there. All right. So I think the best way to do this is just use the pegs that they have. That is so weird. So it is a double-handed pistol hold, but oof. But she's like teacupping. She's teacupping this pistol. Ooh. That is really weird. Okay. What's up, Jason? All right. And last but not least, we got to get, I'm going to put together my son's Cosmo. He wants to paint Cosmo. So we're just going to do this. I'm really just going to rip it off the plastic base. Ooh. Okay. Right. So I'll just clip it off the tab. I know this is the least exciting part of some of my feeds, but I just wanted to kind of get get a stream going, tell people Extra Life is still going to go until the end of the year. Yeah, Jason is, Cosmo is Jason's best girl. I do like that you've developed an expertise for Cosmo. I really do like that Full Metal Alchemist version of the model. All right. So this is very easy, right? Because because it's just plastic, you don't have to pin it. You just throw the glue, slap the glue on it, and then put it down on the base. and you're good to go. You can see my bases are, they're still a little mushy, but they're not too bad. I need to check my messages here. I want to make sure I'm not ignoring people that may have important things to share with me. Not that you guys aren't important. Obviously, you guys are the most important, right? Just kidding. You're not. My family's the most important. Just kidding. You guys are not the most important. But all right. Let's see. All right. Cool. Cool. All right. So as you can see, Cosmo we just put together. Let's start putting together the other ones. I usually like to save good sculpts for good bases. But let's start in the order that we were in. I tend to like these ones where it's got the corner, a large corner there. And so let's do one there. And it's just, so you just drill the hole in the middle of the base like that, right? Make sure you give it plenty of room, because when you pull the drill out, sometimes it reverses the, the plastic, and so it can be harder to get that pin in. Now for one tiptoe models, what I like to do is I like to slide it in where it's going, where it's supposed to go, if it will go. Sometimes it's a little trickier. There we go. Right, so she's leaning forward like that, and I'm gonna push it back a little bit like this to give her a little bit better center of gravity, right? And then when I actually let it dry, I do not set it up because she's very likely to just fall over. So I'll just put her down on her side like that. All right, so there's that one. Let's do this one. So actually you can see I can just put little marks on the base with the feet. So I know drill through that hole right there. Drill all the way through. You may have this plastic stuff up here. Pull that off. Okay. And this might be a little tricky to get her down, but put some glue there and some glue here. Whoa, there goes that sheath. I don't even know if I want... That sheath is kind of stupid. I can try to attach it after. Okay. For now, stick her in there. I think she looks cooler without the sheath, frankly, but tell me, Nelson, if you want me to put that sheath on this thing with the super tiny nub. I have a feeling that sheath does not exist on people who play this model much, because that thing, it's just like it's like gluing a hair on there. It really does not do anything of value. Okay, let's put her down. So again, I use the actual pin to mark where the hole needs to go. and you just do this. These are Infinity models that Nelson may be using as Aristea proxies, right? Like this may be an Eclipse proxy, and I think she's a fantastic Eclipse proxy. And I do not like the plastic Eclipse sculpt very much. I love the character design, and her rules are pretty fun and cool. But she's not in my 8 because she doesn't have a cool metal mini. Oh no. I just popped the arm off doing that. Let me fix that. Ooh. Sometimes that will happen. Alright, whatever's easier for you. I'm actually surprised I was able to pop that arm off. That was on there pretty good. See if I could do this without wrecking the model. Oh boy. There we go. Right. Nice high and tight across your body there. Hey, what's up? Hey, Viv. What are you doing, dude? Welcome to the feed. You just getting up for the morning? Yeah, didn't you, Viv? Weren't you the one that said if you can't put infinity models together unless you're a finger gymnast? Was that you? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah. So we're putting together some infinity models tonight. We're actually going to be using them for Aristea, and yeah. Oh, and I was just talking about my my Extra Life campaign that I will be continuing until the end of the year. So a little bit extra fundraising. I'm going to go into some extra innings this year since I started the campaign late and we weren't even sure what we would be able to do for Extra Life. So it's almost 6 p.m. Okay. They are. The original Infinity models are very fiddly. The new ones are better. They're easier to put together, but they're harder to pin. Because they cut them in such a way now that they have very specific slots and things, but they cut the angles in such a way that you can't really, it's very hard to get in there and actually put pins in if you want to try to pin them. So anyway, so yeah, we're just putting together some of these together, and then I'll start painting them actually tomorrow. We're not gonna push too much harder tonight. Ooh, ooh, that just barely fits in there. And let's see if she'll stay. But I'll show you what I mean. Right, I'm gonna break out, and I don't know if I'm gonna build this model right now, but we'll see. Let's let all this stuff dry though. Uh-oh, what'd I do with it? All right, so for example, here's the Shona Carano, which is a fantastic mini. Absolutely gorgeous mini. Right? It's Corvus Belly. Beautiful mini, beautiful, right? So they're beautiful minis, but they can be a royal pain to put together. And this one here is pretty rough. It'd even be rough to get the clamshell to open. All right, let's do that. And I haven't figured out if I actually want her in my 8 yet. I don't know. I have not decided. So here's the main body here, right? And I'll just do a little bit of cleanup, just so I can show you how this whole thing goes together. And I should actually be able to do this without pinning. But this is what, I've always hated double-handed rifle holds are terrible, right? Because if you're trying to put it together and maybe one of the arms is slightly bent or the angle is slightly bent, then the whole thing loses its alignment. This is what I call a double rifle hold. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Let me clean up a little bit some of these pieces just so you can see. Okay, this model incorporates all of the dirty tricks that I hate in we'll just say Spanish sculpted models. Okay, I'm blaming you, Spaniards. I'm blaming the Spaniards for this, because Spaniards, and I'm talking specifically about knight models and Corvus Belli, they like to do two things. They like to cut the model in really weird angles, and they love tactical rock, which I absolutely hate tactical rock. Okay? If you don't know what tactical rock is when they just, in order to get a knee up on one of the miniatures, they'll just randomly sculpt a rock at the bottom of its feet, and you just get to deal with that. All right. So this model has all of those things going for it. It's got double-handed rifle holds. It has tactical rock. It has weird cuts. Okay? But this is a double-handed rifle hold. Like, this is especially egregious. But again, I love the mini. I just hate the pose. So this mini is driving a double-handed sword down the face of a, whatever these things are called, the Combined Army Monster Gribbly thing. Chris will correct me, whatever they're called, or Jose. Someone will come in and correct me. All right. Let's see. Been seeing you. You've been uploading much more frequently lately, Viv. Can see you've got the hobby bug back. That's good. All right. So here's how it goes, right? Shazvati. So this thing is plowing into, the sword is plowing into the creature's head like that. Okay? Simultaneously, the creature is reaching up and grabbing Shona by the boots. It's like this, I guess. Hold on. I got that right? Whoa. Let me drop that for a second and show this separately. Right? That right there should show you that this is kind of a problem. So you've got a double-handed rifle hold going like that. Yeah. So you can see it's not a clean angle either, but that's going like that. Okay? So that's going like that. So this attaches to the leg. This is also happening, and then your body has to be at this perfect angle to catch all. Am I showing that right? It has to catch all three of those at the same time. So if there's any bend along this sword, if this joint here isn't exactly fitting perfectly, guess what? You're screwed. It just sucks. That's what I hate. I mean, it doesn't need pinning. That's the good news, but you can tell how badly that sucks just by how I explain that. All right, let's try to put it together, because why not? It's late at night. Why not? Let's just get angry. Right? We love the sculpt. Don't get me wrong. Love the sculpt. But what did we have to pay this price in grief to get this? Just use a different position, guys. It doesn't have to be this excruciating. Okay? Life should not be this hard, is what I'm saying. All right. So there we go. So we're going to put that together like that. And then I think the next good move is to put the sword in. I've put this model together, what, 3 times now, guys? You guys have seen this all on stream. Have I done this 3 times or 4 times? You guys tell me. Okay, so that's going to go like that. Then, let's hope that stays, because I'm not pinning that. It's just upsetting and not okay for children. Then I'm going to put this in here. Ooh, I just rolled the little tiptoe girl over. Hope she's not. Hope she's okay. She's got a long neck. All right, so I'm going to put glue in there, right? And Shazvati. Okay. Ugh. Maybe I screwed up. Why is that not? Okay, this plan is not working. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So then that goes like that. Okay. Still with me? So now these 2 arms have to match where her arms are, and there's another square slot here for that leg. And this whole thing has to fit together like that. Also, there's this peg here that I need to remove. So, okay. So I think we're okay so far. But look at that. Look at the angle that has to go in. And I have not been able to do this without, with a completely perfectly unbent double-handed sword. I have not been able to do it this way. Okay. Right, and you can see, look, like there are no tight joints here. See that? There's no, unlike the other, it's just sort of shaved there, and it's got an odd shape to it. All right. So yes, this is going to be a little disturbing. Okay, so I'll put a little glue there, a little glue there, and a little glue there. And it's got to connect to all 3 parts, or we're screwed, basically. Okay, so let's get the leg. Oh my gosh. Okay, so far I'm able to get the leg where it needs to be. But you can see that arm, the top arm there is way off, and the bottom arm is a little bit off. See that? How do you... Okay, so let's adjust. Okay. And let's try this again. Ooh, man. Yeah, how do you... This is... What? Oh, I just lost that part of it. All right, let's try a new plan. Let's get this out. Clean out the old super glue, because we're gonna start by attaching the leg now. So the leg will go there, right? Because that's, as far as the body is concerned, you need the leg to be, the leg to be in the exact spot it needs to be in. And hopefully this sucker will stay. It's actually not even fitting right. Wow. Yeah, I hate this thing. This is giving me anxiety just trying to... Right. This is the problem with these models. Like, oh, they come up with this really awesome pose. Like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's beautiful. And then they... But the logistics of putting it together is just bad for your soul. It's just not... Oh, okay. All right, let's see if we can... All right, I have... So far, I don't even know if that leg is in the right spot. It looks like it is. It kind of looks like it is. Okay. All right. That's not terrible. She should, her other foot should be able to touch the ground, so I'm already know I'm a little bit off no matter what. Oh, Corvus Belly. We love your sculpts, but whoever is in charge of breaking these models we need to figure out why they hate humanity as much as they do. What has someone done to this person? Why, what kind of psychological help can we offer this person so that they never think this way ever again? When will they understand that this is not an appropriate way to live their life? All right. Here we go. So, 1, 2, and 3. All right. Wish me luck. It's not even... Wow, now for whatever reason, now it's the bottom arm is not connecting at all. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get the top readjusted because it looks like... Ugh. Oh my god, there goes the leg. Ugh. They want you to work for it. Look, I still can't get it. I still cannot get this to line up properly. It's still wrong. It's still, ugh. Yeah, this is the term I use for this is for dicks. This does not. Cannot get that to properly line up. Right? I can do this, I can do that, and go like, yeah, she just has really skinny joints right there. But as you can see, the sword now, definitely not straight. And it's just sad. It's just sad, right? You can't, if any little bit of this is off, it does not line up. And that sword angle does not, you don't get a good straight sword angle. It looks like I'm getting closer as I adjust. All right, as I try to get the sword angle a little bit better. But it's not straight. None of these have been straight. Like I said, I put together this model 3 different occasions for 3 different people now. And it does not wish to straighten up. What a mess. Which is another reason why, like, at the end of the day, I'm like, it looks really cool when you look at the package. You're like, man, that's going to be such a great sculpt. And well, I'll tell you what I don't like. Even with all this posing, I don't like that when you're looking at the model dead on, that you're just looking at the top of her head. That upsets me a lot. Like, it's not. I don't like models where they're either looking straight up in the air, so you're just seeing the bottom of their chin, or they're looking straight down, so you just see the top of their head. I do not like that on the models. So whatever. Whatever. I'm not proud of it, guys. Obviously, this is not my best work. But yeah, this is the product of someone who just doesn't like humanity. That's all I can do. That's how I can conclude that whoever did this does not like humanity. All right. I do have one more model I can build here. And let's see if we can. Now this model I also don't necessarily need to pin. So this is the Metal Moonchild. Now she's got the sin of tactical rock, and she doesn't just have the sin of one tactical rock. She has the sin of 2 tactical rocks, which is really, again, very upsetting. Because if you were just gonna put them on a rock, why would you put them on 2 rocks? Just use 1 rock. On Nelson, on yours, what I did was I clipped her foot off of this rock entirely, so that we wouldn't have to deal with multiple rock. But what I had to do is shave down the trophy rock to adjust for that. We're calling this feed bad ideas from good sculpts. Okay? Because that's the only way I could characterize what we're talking about. It's like, oh, it's such a cool sculpt. What kind of dickhead put that together like that? Why? That's the nature of this show, guys. So now we're going to have this Moonchild on 2 tactical rocks on a stamped metal base. That is just, what the hell? Why, Corvus Belly? Could you know, tactical trash can, they do. You know, I make fun of tactical trash can, but double tactical rock? That's just, come on. Go home, Corvus Belly, you're drunk. That's, why? Alright. Yeah, I don't know if Moonchild makes my, I don't know if she makes my 8 anyway. But let's put her together, because we're here. Hey, Isaac Smith. Alright, so again, we're not going to do any pinning. She's got broad enough, with the double tactical rock, she's got broad enough base there where I don't even need to pin the base. Or I don't even need to pin her to the base. She'll just squish into that, she'll just squish nicely into this type of base. But you could see it's really silly. Like, I gotta boot and get dinner ready. See ya, Viv. Thanks for stopping in, dude. Alright. So we're gonna do this and hopefully not try to kill ourselves. Alright. Get that trimmed. But see, I don't even know if I'm going to be painting Moonchild and Shona anytime soon, because I want to paint these, and then I want to just paint some more commission things and just kind of paint these 2 on the side, because I don't know that these 2 actually make my they don't make my 8 today. Alright, so the good news is, you see how that socket's actually quite well. So let's do that. Poor Viv. We just frustrated him. He turned on this feed. He's like, what the hell? Oh, man. Dang it. That socketed well when I dry fit it. There we go. Alright, so that's going to go like that. Let's not ruin it. And this is going to go like this. Oh man, do you see what's coming? You have 2 tactical rocks. This is going to be goofy when we try to put it on the... Yeah, you see that? They're not... The tactical rocks are not flush with each other. Oh my gosh. Corvus Belly. Guys. Let's try to make these flush with each other at least. There we go. I think that's pretty close. That's pretty close. Okay. I hope you were all thoroughly frustrated by these. It's the price that we pay. Beautiful models, guys, beautiful. Yes, they are. Did you have to make them obnoxious, though? All right. We made it, guys. We made it. Right? Everything is built. Not the best builds, but they're built. We can let them dry and start the priming and painting process tomorrow. But yeah, that's what we're looking at. Any questions, comments, threats before we call it a night? I'm gonna go ahead and stand up Kitsune. She's been drying enough. She's nice and stable. But yeah, see how rough that can be, just putting together some of these little dainty metal miniatures and their crazy Corvus belly. And look, the plastic guy. The crazy Corvus belly things. I think your blood pressure has gone up the stroke level. All right, guys. Well, yeah, I gotta get up in about 5 hours or so, and gonna get ready for work. So with that, we're gonna call the feed to a close. Want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.